桜テレビ
The reason why at the ASEAN Riyadh summit, ASEAN being the countries Indonesia, Malaysia, and these countries, 2 weeks ago, Bin Salman gave a speech of 5 minutes. In it, he dedicated 32.25 seconds to Gaza. I know because I cut it on Premiere Pro. In those 32.25 seconds, he called the what's happening. He didn't call it a genocide or ethnic cleansing. He called it an unfortunate violence. He didn't mention Israel by name. He didn't denounce the Israelis. He called for restraint on all sides and called for an urgent de-escalation to take place. Not only that, Saudi Arabia's strategic autonomy is so important. The pursuit of strategic autonomy is so important. Vision 2030 is so important that Bin Salman has been trying to redefine the parameters of debate on Palestine within Saudi Arabia itself. The mashayikh in nearly every mosque in Saudi Arabia has been giving the same lesson almost every single day. You must obey the ruler. You must obey Bin Salman. You must obey the ruler who knows better than you. Do not talk about issues that you don't know. Abdurrahman al-Sudais, the head of the Haramain, the chief imam, yesterday told the crowd, he started with Allahumma rescue Palestine. Allahumma bless the people of Gaza and protect them. Once he finished, once he did the wajib in order to try to get the Muslims to listen to him, he said, and remember, don't let people use this fitna. He called it a fitna. Don't let people use this fitna to cause you to turn on your leader, to cause you to turn on Bin Salman, and obey your rulers and obey the scholars that he has appointed over you. The reason they are delivering this message is because they are concerned that Saudis are angry and the Muslim world is angry, that they are angry that Bin Salman is not doing anything, and therefore they are Islamically trying to chain the ummah by saying that you must obey the ruler because the ruler knows better than you. In the words of one sheikh in Jama' al-Rajhi in Riyadh, the mosque that belongs to the billionaire Sulaiman al-Rajhi, although he doesn't run it, there's a sheikh who said, quote, you are like slugs compared to the ruler. You have no knowledge of these affairs and your analyses are burdensome on our rulers. We should trust them and let them know what they're doing. When they host Shakira for Riyadh season, we must trust that our ruler knows what they're doing. When they host Tyson Fury and Ngannou while Gaza is being bombarded, we must trust that our ruler knows what he's doing because he's pursuing strategic autonomy that we might later be able to use in favor of the Palestinians. The point here being is the only country that your argument applies to strategic autonomy is Bin Salman. Bin Salman is pursuing strategic autonomy, one that is so important that it should not be compromised for the sake of the Palestinians. It can only be compromised if Bin Salman is personally insulted. If the Canadians say criticize the human rights record, Bin Salman will compromise strategic autonomy by kicking out the Canadians and upsetting the West. If Biden calls him a pariah, if Biden insults Bin Salman personally, Bin Salman will cut the oil production. He'll increase the prices. He'll mess around with the gas prices because Biden has insulted him specifically, and he's ready to compromise Saudi strategic autonomy for the sake of the personal insult or rectifying that personal insult. But the point is, to finish here on this, with regards to strategic autonomy or the like, it's absolutely abundantly clear that the Muslim countries have the ability to do something, but they are choosing not to because they believe that their strategic autonomy, that they are still building it, and they believe that that strategic autonomy can be built on the abandonment of the Palestinians. There are different degrees to it. I don't think Erdogan is as callous as Bin Salman in it. I believe that Erdogan, for all of my issues with regards to his policies, is sitting in the palace and holding his head, scratching his head, thinking, my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm really struggling with this. I think King Abdullah is pulling his hairs out. I think Sisi is pulling his hairs out. But I think that Saudi Arabia and the UAE are sitting there and saying, Israel, we can make this easy for you. What do you need from us? And we're seeing the scholars being deployed in this effort.